Chanel, Rice, and Worthy's limited estimate? Is feeling good about their potential to play?
Yeah, I mean, it was yeah. I think they'll be all right. See how it all rolls.
What are your expectations for Isaiah Pacheco for this week?
Well, let's see how he does today, but then we'll get him in there and he'll play. Yeah. How much? I can't tell you that right now. See how it goes.
Along the running back front, you did sign a running back to the practice squad, Damian Pierce. What are your expectations for him as he tries to learn the system?
Yeah, that's the main thing right now. Just get in and learn what we're doing, and then we'll take it from there. He's been productive, so good player. Brett's always doing a nice job of finding guys and adding them to the roster, and so we'll just see, kind of play by ear, see how it goes here.
With how much film work you do, I guess, how have you seen Quinnen Williams boost the defense for the Cowboys in the last 2 games?
Yeah, he's done. He's a great player, so he's done a nice job there. That front is again a good, respectable front, man. They bring it, and he's a big part of that. Yeah.
Andy, you guys have kind of become a staple for you guys to be playing with Thanksgiving and Christmas now, and obviously there's logistical points with that, but how do you just treat it as embracing it in terms of what it means for the franchise and getting these kind of games?
Yeah, it's an honor to be asked to play on those days. I mean, it means you're doing or have done halfway decent, right? So it's not a lot of games being played either one of those 2 days. So that's why I think that's the way you have to approach it. I can't tell you I'm great. I'm excited about short weeks, but I mean that's part of this thing. So the guys, we get them ready and they go play.
This is an important game for Patrick since he's never gotten to play Dallas as a professional before. How do you manage that in a game like this for him? Do you just let him run with the emotions, or do you try to keep him in check? Or
yeah, man, I think he'll be okay there. I mean, it's familiar territory, if nothing else, for him. He's played in there a few times, so he, and that's his old home team, right? But I think he'll be fine. Yeah.
Andy, as much as film as you would have watched on him in college, do you remember, able to separate him? Do you remember any of those games that he played in that stadium, on that first Baylor game particularly?
Yeah, I did watch it. Now, if you start asking me every play, I'm not going to be able to tell you, but I do remember seeing it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Veach wore me out with all that stuff. So.
Andy, how well do you think Kareem Hunt held up with 30 carries on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm proud of him. And he's upright, which is a positive thing. So he's doing good. It just shows you what he's put into it. I think at that age, at that position, those guys don't normally hang around very, very long and be productive like he was this past week. So, and he wanted more. I guess that's a good thing.
Coach, one of the things, the Cowboys came back from 21 down, impressive enough to come back and score those points, but their defense shut the Eagles out of that. What do they have working well for them right now on defense?
Yeah, well, it starts up front with them. That front brings it. You saw that the other night. So that's real. Eagles have a good offensive line. It's a great challenge for our offensive line, and they're legit there. Yeah.
Andy, are you aware that there's a trophy with this game?
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure I've ever seen the trophy, but I know they have a thing going.
Maybe not as prominent as a college rivalry trophy.
Yeah, but that's good for. It's all good. Yeah. All right, bye. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Things like the hardest trophy in existence. A couple of billionaires get together, get the cheapest hunk of wood that they can find. We got bags.
for the performance.
It's like Sydney's talking to someone, but yeah, maybe she's just waiting.
He'll never outdo his performance when he came in and put himself up against the wall.
Not very far away.
I'd do it today if he was
I did mention it a little bit there.
Looks like Spags. Waiting till noon.
Seems like yesterday. It almost was, right? A Tuesday, that's a Thursday, Friday.
But you can remember the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a pretty good point. I got a lot in my head right now. It's been a long, 48 hours, but yeah, really proud of the way the guys played last week, and now it's on to the next one. We got to turn the page pretty quickly, so I'll just open it up.
How would you describe Chris's influence on the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I think he's kind of done that the past 2 weeks, and I told him, it might have been after the game, that I've noticed that he's been practicing at a high level. Just appeared to be different to me in the last 2 weeks, and I think it's showing up on the field. And and you guys know, you see it, you study the tape enough to know that even though it might not show up in a stat line, he's making a difference. With the things we had one pressure we brought that he won real quick, and I think he made the ball get thrown quicker than they really wanted to, and that helped. It was big.
How have you seen George Karlaftis improve year over year?
Yeah, I mean, George is fighting the brace on his hand right now. Him and I have been talking about that a lot, but I think and he's kind of grown. And Chris and George have a really close relationship. I think that helps. He has with all the guys, and I think they're always talking football. At least I always see him talking football. Yeah, he came here as a young. I don't know. Was he 20 yet when we drafted him? How young he was, and he just turned 20 or 21. But he's grown into a fine young man, great character, and loves football. So he does anything and everything to get really good at football.
Steve, what stands out to you the most about the things you have to deal with in a short week? What concerns you the most just by virtue of that?
Yeah, probably the biggest concern is, when you get a full week, I think you can dig, try to find a weakness, put something different in. Now, have we put some wrinkles in? Yeah, we kind of prepared for this a little bit back a while ago. But I don't think you can get the full allotment of what you would like to have. Like, what'll be interesting is after the game saying, if we had time, we could have put this in, But I hope that doesn't happen. And really, I think the biggest challenge, Coach Reid's probably talked about it, is just getting the guys fresh and ready to play physically.
Steve, could you speak to Brian Cook's game?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought Brian up. I mean, I think sometimes he goes unnoticed. We talk about Trent and Nick and, the corners because they're really important in this league. But I think Brian had a really good game last week. Tackled well. I think he's always tackles well. And he kind of runs the show back there. He's been doing that for a couple of years now. And I'm glad we got him because the continuity is huge, having a guy like that.
How do you begin to deal with these two Cowboys receivers who seem to be just having chunk yardage?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They two big dudes, right? And they've been doing it really good for a long time. But we'll see. We're gonna have to mix it up a little bit. It's hard. I think the reason they're both so good now is because you can't take both of them away. You can't double both of them. So we'll find ways to try to mix it up.
Steve, what's the challenge of those guys? The fact that it's not just that they separate, but they catch the ball even length.
Yeah.
What's the challenge?
They got that, big catch radius, right? Length. It's hard to find DBs that are as long as they are. And I tell you the other thing that sticks out to me. Both of them when they catch the football. I mean, there's a lot of yards after catch. Number 9, throw him in there. He does it too. He's a speedy guy. So they got a lot of weapons. They got a lot of things to worry about.
How about Kareem, after Kareem's fumble, did you feel a momentum shift at that point on the field, or did you see it on the film that there was a difference?
In terms of our momentum?
Yeah, your momentum.
Yeah. Well, I think, certainly after that series and we got the stop, I thought there was a huge boost for us. But you get in that situation, it's a little bit of a downer because you think you're going to go ahead and score some points. But, our job is to go out there, and when we always talk about backed up, it's one of the situations we do in a meeting, we do it on the field. We feel like if we can get a 3 and out, it should be points for our guys because, the punt and how far can you punt it, and then Patrick get a few yards, maybe kick a field goal or get a touchdown. So I thought that drive, and I thought the drive at the end of the half, at the end of the half, it might have been in the 4-minute, wherever it was, or maybe under 2 minutes, but we had an end of the half stop that we gave the ball back to the offense. I always talk about the 4 really important series of the game. I think I've said this before, the first and last of each half. And in this particular game, we played pretty good, I think, at all 4 of them.
So you've got a lot of options with the third cornerback. Just Christian Wallace, what have you been seeing?
Yeah, now Christian's been playing inside there for us in the nickel. He's done exceptionally well. He's just done this the whole time he's been here. He came in as a free agent. We didn't know if he was a corner or a safety, but he's a good football player. He got really good instincts, really good ball skills, and tackles well. And we're always trying to find ways to. You can see we've been tinkering back there a little bit, and we'll see where a lot of it depends on the matchup of the players that we're going against. But Chris Roland Wallace is going to play for us and do some things for us.
You've coached for several teams who have a rivalry with the Cowboys. Have you coached on a Thanksgiving down there?
No. I think it's the first, but it hadn't been involved in the Thanksgiving Day game.
So did you? You guys' lives are different than a lot of people who work on Thanksgiving a lot of times.
Yeah.
And practice that. Would this be normally a game if you home at 3:25 watching football at that point? Or are you still up here working? What's Thanksgiving like generally for you?
Typically, if we had a Sunday game, you usually work the calendar around that. You make Thursday more like a Friday. You know how we normally go earlier, and then we can get the work done. And usually catch part of one of those games. But if I'm home, and listen, we all want to go home and have some turkey on Thanksgiving, right? If you can. But I turn the game on and watch it. Yeah, I enjoy it. John Madden and Treduncan, and I think that stuff's all really cool. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Go find Toad. Sam. Go find Toad. Thank you. What's your sticker? Bag in the car. Couple more. Gotta get him out of here. No one else can be in here. Maui's got NC State, Boise, USC, Seton Hall, Washington State, Arizona State, Chaminade, Texas.
Couple of names, but really no good.
Not much.
Not much going on in Texas. Texas got smoothed by somebody earlier this year.
They're not very good, I don't think.
NC State was in the poll, and they got beat.
Yeah. I was looking at some rankings, like Arizona State's like 150th or something, really good. Not quite the
No, not
big crew out there.
not good. It's too bad.
now it was, you know, just the whole setup was just awesome.
Burned down when we were
What's that?
when it burned down.
I'm just thinking NIL ruined it. I mean, now you gotta pay.
One of the clips in NIL.
Yeah.
Out there.
I don't.
They don't.
They didn't even pay for travel expenses.
Yeah, they don't. Their sell was.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah, well,
It's over now.
well, it is,
Yeah,
unless they, unless they tell me.
It just, you but you're out there playing like.
It's about time it showed up.
YouTube championship out there.
Yeah.
Just, and the game was important to both fan bases, but
I had my
didn't
air
have, like,
conditioning on driving there.
ending stakes. So
Right.
everyone's just like really enthusiastic and they're on vacation. And the gym is a high school gym. It's half. I mean, those were some of the best games I ever covered. It's just the atmosphere was
Yeah.
unbelievable. So it's too bad. That really, that one does make me sad. NIL-wise, but that's gonna get killed because that was a cool experience.
I covered Tony Gonzalez's Cal team out there and Lester Earl's LSU team.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Wow. I saw Ron Rivera is out. I had forgotten. Ron Rivera is running the show at Cal now.
Yeah, he could be the next, maybe the next head coach.
You think he'll be like a
I think
player
he'll be-
coach type
He's
thing?
gonna hire himself.
Hire himself. I don't know anybody with his
They
email.
introduced me.
It just happened with the Padres.
Yeah.
They had like,
Right.
the search is concluded. Like 3 or 4 guys, and it was like,
I mean, trading Maui from that
Yeah.
Las Vegas trip.
The Jerry Jones
Here we
model.
go. Las Vegas trip.
How y'all doing, fellas?
All right, go ahead.
What are the biggest challenges you guys face with this Cowboys defense?
Well, you see from evidence of this last game how tenacious they are. I mean, that defensive line, they fly around. Their defense right now, they're playing with a lot of confidence. You know, anytime you get into these short weeks, or short days, hours, you're trying to get as much as you can, see what you can. And you just see on tape, like they fly around, and I have a lot of respect for Coach Eberflus and what he does on defense. And I think the biggest thing is, again, I know they've given up some points early in the year, but I think right now when you watch the film, you see that they're flying around, and they just had a heck of a game against Philadelphia.
Matt, you're close with Pat. What do you think going back home to Dallas and the Cowboys is going to mean to him?
It'll be special for him any way you look at it. I mean, for 4 years now, we've been going back and forth on Pennsylvania versus Texas high school football, and so I know how much pride he has in Texas and going back home. So it'll be big for him, but at the same time, he keeps it all in perspective.
Guys of your group, what makes Mike Caliendo such a good plug-and-play option for you?
He knows everything. He's a guy that every day in practice. I think back to like in training camp, just the way how focused and where he's at. You go back to last year in the Super Bowl, and I know, and not just the Super Bowl, but before that, being able to step in and do the things he did is valuable for us. So we have a lot of trust in him, and we think he's in a great spot.
What's on your mind the most about dealing with a short week? What are the things that just concern you?
Short week-wise is you really have to just lock in on what you do well. There's so much that goes into it. Just right after the game, guys are banged up. We had 96 plays. So on offense, that's a lot of plays, and so guys are usually it's the second day, which is today, that guys get the most sore. So there's a balance of the physical part, but also and taking care of them there, but then also the mental side of how you handle that, because that's very important here. I mean, in 2 more days, they're back out on the field with the possibility of a lot more plays. So we have to make sure that there's that balance of giving them what we see with Dallas, letting them understand what we're doing, so that in the end you want to be able to play fast.
Matt, what are your thoughts on what stood out to you about the couple plays that Rashid made on the last drive of regulation, just to get things going there?
The stuff he does after the catch, strong hands, and making big plays at big time moments. I mean, that's what was so neat to see. One of the ones to me that was just so critical in that game was when we were backed up, and he made that catch over the middle. Running after that, he's hard to bring down, so he plays physical football, and I really like his growth there as that game went on, and I think he's really starting to, getting back into conditioning and stuff like that. I like where he's at.
Matt, how about just the way Kareem held up and how he responded to the fumble?
Well, again, we joke with him. I mean, 30 carries, and for somebody that is no spring chicken with where he's at, but I mean, he's so tough. I mean, he's such a valuable part to this offense. For him to come back the way he did just shows his leadership. I think the guys too on the sideline they were so great with him, just being there for him. And that's probably one of the things that throughout that game, as that game went on, it was early on, it just didn't go the way we wanted it to go. But the guys stuck together, and then we found a way to win in the end, all three phases. And it was a team game, and that was a part of it. I mean, when you lose the ball down there in the red zone, that's a big play, But the defense stepped up, everyone stayed together, and then those guys made plays as we moved on.
Matt, what are your thoughts on Josh Simmons since he's returned, especially last game?
He's doing great. I love his athleticism. He's physical. He's nasty. He's really he sets the tone on the offensive side of the ball for us. I mean, you put on that tape, and we couldn't spend too much time on the tape. I mean, you gotta get right into the next game. So, but you see it, and you see what he's doing, and there's some nastiness. And I think anytime you can get nasty on the O-line level, man, that's a beautiful thing.
Nate?
Matt, you mentioned it earlier, but what concerns you most about your guys' just slow starts over the last couple months now, particularly in the first quarter?
I would just say probably it's I look at it and I think, Nate, that it's more of a, when you look at, we get down into that big red zone, and there, for whatever reason, there's these penalties, and you look at them like, which ones can you control? And so a few weeks ago we had some holds early on. When it's illegal shifts or motion, stuff like that, that's so controllable. Those got to be eliminated. If it's a hold, if it's a face mask, you got those. They can become more gray because of how it goes on. But in the end, you can't do it. So you have a touchdown taken away in the first half. Can't do it. I don't care. You just cannot have that happen. So, but we battled back. We've been talking about it. The guys know it. We emphasize it. But you got to do it now. And when we don't do that, we're pretty good.
When a lot of talk about the RPOs and whatever you guys call them, straight runs or
breather runs.
Breather runs.
Yeah.
On that, did you run more breather runs this week? Did it just dictate that way? I mean, I know it was disappointing the first RPO ended up getting.
Yeah, that was tough. It was maybe a little bit more. There was probably a little bit more of those. Again, those are two when you can get in a rhythm. I thought we were able to, even when we weren't scoring touchdowns in the first half, we were moving the ball. So there's a balance of those breather runs. And then when you have RPO runs too, sometimes you all know when it's a throw, obviously you think it's maybe a pass call and it could be an RPO, or sometimes it's just a straight run call and it's a breather run from the gun that looks the same. So in the end, we don't care. We want to be able to get production and stay I mean, that helps us in the play actions. That helps us in the screen game. And when you're calling breather runs for your team, it's also, we call it a breather run for a reason. It takes one less thing off the quarterback to think about on every play. So those are good.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Get him out of here.
Players off Max Eric.
Yeah. I did 85, is that the age I saw?
Yes, around there.
What a great guy.
He was a great guy. I don't know if I told you this, but I remember one of the last times I ever had occasion to call him. I can't remember the circumstance, but he answered the phone in his office and says, Max, you're unemployed athletic director. He was we had an email exchange. He was from that Skywriters reunion we did. He was hoping to come to that.
Oh, how about that?
That was a good 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. He was Kansas State, like all the
Big 8 schools would have the summer golf media outing, and he would, Bill Snyder wouldn't play. He'd go around the cart and make sure everybody was having a good time.
Did you get better today?
But Max was like the party at those things.
Oh, I
He
bet.
loved
That's great.
those things. We ended up at his house.
No kidding.
Yeah, one day after the thing, and went into the night.
About that. One of the things he said in this email was he was kind of harkening back to those times. He said, back when people matter more than money. And he meant it. Yeah.
He and Bob Frederick were
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. It was something I wrote about Bob that precipitated. He loved Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Bob got young, right? 69, a cycling accident.
Yeah. Kirk, I got done with it because Kirk went back.
That's right.
That did something with all of those.
He didn't hire Snyder, but he was the AD during the best parts of the K-State dynasty.
Yeah.
And he was always a go-to guy.
Yeah.
Because Bill could be difficult to deal with, but Max would always get you a quote.
Yeah. Don't picture many ADs picking up the phone in their office these days, or even having that inside line.
I used to work for Dave Gladius.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He would always talk about Skyride.
They was treated. They did up big time.
The dinner up in the mountains.
Up in the mountains, steak fries in the mountains. Yeah. Well, it was always the time there was a golf tournament in Denver around that time. That strange Stapleton scoring tournament that they had. But anybody wanted to go, we could get you tickets for that. And that was always the extra night or the extra day.
Yeah, the only place we flew. Everything else was bus. Should have been called the bus.
Right,
Bus riders.
Bus riders tour.
Although it was, of all things, at CU, there was a practice going on when we arrived, and somebody tried to go over and look, and a CU person came over and said, "Hey, this is open to the public, not the media."
It's kind of like an NFL training camp where they don't let the media film, but everybody else can film.
Same thing, exactly. So what were you doing? You didn't go to CU, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that if I ever knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
For my freshman year. Rashawn won the Heisman my freshman year, so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, it was the greatest things in sliced bread.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, how about that? I didn't know that.
All right, guys, fire away.
Patrick, so many guys during the game, yourself included, got a little bit banged up, and everyone kind of getting back in there and grinding. You kind of feel the importance of the game with the fact that everyone, no matter what, was trying to get back out there on the field.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the people that we have in this locker room. They want to win and they want to leave it all out there. And everybody's banged up at this time of the year, but you have to be able to fight through that and play your best football. So I'm proud of the guys and how they responded in an adverse moment, and we'll keep building on that going into this week.
Patrick, the first time that you played at the stadium against Baylor, what do you remember about that game and just the excitement of getting that chance to do that?
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, obviously, I was a freshman in college, and it was kind of my shot to prove that I could be the starting quarterback the next year. And got down early. Not a lot of stuff wasn't going our way, and we were playing a really good football team, but we were able to rally back and came up a 2-point conversion short. And so I think the biggest lesson I learned was I took a sack on the 2-point play, and I was like, and Coach Kingsbury came to me after the game and was like, it's 2-point play, you got to just throw it up or do something. So just learning stuff like that, but it was also obviously an awesome experience for me growing up in the East Texas area.
Did you go to the stadium when I was a kid, just as a fan?
Yeah, I went a good amount. I once to the old stadium when I was really young, and then the new stadium once it was built. My dad used to get he could get us into the bottom area where the Cowboys come out. So
we'd get like the nosebleed seats, and then just go down there the whole game. I don't know if that's allowed, but it was really cool, just making memories with my dad, my brother, and stuff like that. And so got to go to probably 3 to 4 games growing up.
With the short weeks obviously pose a challenge, but playing on Christmas, playing on Thanksgiving, things like that, how was that made up for, I guess, with just your adrenaline and excitement to be in the spotlight that way?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you grow up watching Thanksgiving games, no matter who you're a fan of. If it's the Lions, the Cowboys, or whoever's playing at night, I mean, you grow up watching those games, and so I think as that kid in me wants to be able to go out there and play on Thanksgiving and find a way to win. And obviously, short week, we're grinding in here right now and getting the whole game plan in and making sure everybody's prepared and ready to go. But I think we're excited to get to go out there and play on Thanksgiving against a really good football team and the whole world watching.
Just to that point, too, in the bigger picture sense, are you pretty cognizant of that, like what this does for Chiefs' presence and brand in terms of like being visible all over the world?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've played some Super Bowls too, so I think more than anything, we just want to win. You know, if you're going to be in front of everybody, you want to win the football game. So I mean, you're definitely aware of it, but you're more worried about winning the football game.
Patrick, with the kid, you have been excited to play at Cowboy Stadium?
Yeah, no, for sure. Just getting to play back at home, and obviously have a lot of people in attendance that it may not get to come up to Kansas City all the time and watch the games, and so it'll be a really cool experience playing there, especially on Thanksgiving. And I'll have a lot of family and friends in the stands.
How
fourth quarter
tickets you got to get?
I got a really big suite. I don't really do like the numbers. It's more of a Brittany question, but I'm sure it's gonna be like 50 plus.
Overcapacity?
Yeah, I mean, there's no tickets left. That's all I know. So I don't know how that worked out, but I usually let Brittany handle all that.
What's tangible from the successes of the fourth quarter and overtime last game that you think can carry over with the offense in this game?
Yeah, I think it was huge that we beat man coverage. You know, I think throughout the last few weeks here, teams are really challenging us in man, and I got to be able to make those throws in those big moments, and I was able to make the throws. Guys were able to get themselves open. Coaches called the plays really well, and we executed. And I think whenever we're able to do that, it forces defense to have to adjust and play zones where I feel like we can play at a high level as well. And so being able to prove that we can do both, I think it's something that we have to continue to do through the rest of the season.
Patrick, what does it say about Kareem to carry the ball 30 times when you guys really needed him to do so?
Yeah, I mean, he's a my bad. He's a warrior. He's someone that truly wants to win. He wants to compete. He wants to be out there for his guys and give everything that he has. And I think he showed that. I mean, he showed it all season long, but he really showed that this week. And I'm sure he wasn't feeling great running some of those runs back to back to back, but he was going to do whatever it takes to win, and you need those guys on your team.
Patrick, you watch the Cowboys every week growing up? Was that a thing?
I wouldn't say necessarily growing up, but once I got into football, kind of 7th, 8th grade ish age, that's when I started to really kind of get into football. And Cowboys were my dad's favorite team, so I obviously watched a ton of Cowboys and stuff like that. And I got to watch a lot of Tony, so I watched Tony play a ton. And so it's been cool to get to meet him now, just because he was like the quarterback that I grew up watching. And there was a lot of good times watching those games with my family. So it's definitely going to be surreal being able to play them at the stadium that I watched them play it a lot.
As you watched the defense this week getting ready for the Cowboys, they were obviously very good in the second half against the Eagles to shut them out. They look like they're playing better football as they get along. What are your impressions of them right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it exactly right. I mean, obviously they've been in the scheme a little bit longer, and then they've added players. They've also gotten players healthy. And you see they're playing at a higher level than they were even playing at the beginning of the year, and that comes with being more comfortable with the scheme that you're in. And so they're coached really well by Coach Eberflus. They fly around to the football, and they're kind of in the same situation as us. It's kind of all on the line. You got to go out there every single week and play your best football, and they've responded these last few weeks and played really good football. So it'll be a great challenge for us.
Last three, Matt.
Patrick, it looked like in the fourth quarter overtime you were favoring the leg a little bit. When did that pop up during the game, and how are you feeling now?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just little tweak thing you did kind of on the first run down the sideline, trying to open up, and then having another run kind of back to back. But I mean, it's kind of part of it. It's just part of playing football. Stuff like that happens, and all you do is you get back in, you get some work on it, and you go out there and practice. Sam?
You mentioned being man to man. How much did that being back up against the goal on that throw to Rashid, which didn't seem like a real wide window? How much do you feel like that sort of got that mark in the goal?
Yeah, it gave me confidence. I mean, just to keep firing, like it's not always going to be pretty. I think that's something that I've learned throughout my career is it's not always going to be wide open or perfect play call. You got to sometimes let guys just win, and that's what happened there is Rashid won against a really good cornerback, and he got across the middle, and there was a tight window. You give him a chance, he makes a catch, and makes yards after the catch. And so that's stuff you have to do, especially versus man coverage, and we did a good job of that in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Last one, go ahead.
I would imagine it's on anybody's mind, but are you aware there's a trophy with this game?
I know there's a turducken. I didn't know if there's is that the trophy.
It's the owners.
Oh, the owner's trophy. Yeah, I've heard of that. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I think we should have it right now, huh? We won the last time we played the Cowboys, so try to keep that in the Hunt household, I guess.
Are you thinking more of the turducken?
I'm thinking of the turducken, man. John Madden, like that's to me that's the coolest thing, and obviously a legend of the game. I was able to talk to him a couple of times on the phone with Coach Reid, and so to be able to be a part of that, I think that would be a special moment.
Thank you.
Are you sure? CBS has something, don't they? Don't they have a little thing?
I don't know how they do it now.
They're passing something out.
And it's a Tony Romo.
Yeah, he's got a thing, right?
So there's no more turducken?
I think they do that
It's
on
just
Fox.
invalidated?
That's a Fox deal.
Oh, yeah.
They're the morning
Fox
game.
has the copyright on
That might have been
No, don't need to let that get in the way.
what they call it, IP, intellectual property, IP.
You're still thinking about it, right? That's valid.
Yeah, that's right.
The question is, what came when the Chiefs jump in the Salvation Army kettle?
Oh, yeah.
What about those outfits? Was that last Christmas?
That's Christmas. But
What were those outfits?
They were the big Santa Claus outfits, and that's a Netflix like football cake or whatever.
No, but they had cakes. And
Oh, they had the big Santa Claus everything.
Kelsey and Mahomes.
Yeah.
The big robe. It looked like Muhammad Ali.
I think Netflix did that for both those games.
Yeah.
I think.
And then Andy came out. He still had his Santa pants on, I think, but not the top.
Back when
Goodness, was the other way around.
Oh, hey-oh.
Sun's gone.
Hope you enjoyed it. It doesn't start raining.
I don't think
It's the weekend. I left my windows open.
Yeah, you know, right.
Rain, snow. Maybe it was
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. Nope, no.
There's
Watching
a bunch of high school games like 1 o'clock on Saturday. I hope they don't get jacked up.
It's the one thing I'm going to miss this year is watching
Kansas
games on
State
Friday.
and Missouri
Kansas
semis.
State and Missouri semis. There's they all Kansas starts throughout the day. I think everything in Missouri is like at 1.
There's 3 games in Emporia for the Kansas side.
I'm deprived of the opportunity of watching, Wednesday and Thursday college basketball with you guys this week from a ballroom in some Caribbean island, and
On some
then
weird
nothing
streaming
but basketball on Friday.
How telling is that moment with Patrick where he coughs and feels the need to say, my bad?
My bad. I shouldn't have.
Who does that?
My bad. Sorry, Colin. Happens, buddy. It's okay. Here we go, somebody. Come on. How you feeling now? How are you feeling yesterday? A lot of carries.
Man, I'm just taking it a day at a time, just to get my body back.
Let's say, what do you do to recover from a game like that, recovery-wise?
Sleep. Get in the cold tub, massage, stuff like that.
How much did you enjoy a workload like that? I guess it's been a while.
It's fun. Definitely get to play a lot of football. That's what I love to do. So, it's fun.
Kareem, you're doing all the right things on this, but how much does adrenaline matter when it comes to recovering? Like on Thursday, will that carry you a little bit too?
Oh, for sure, most definitely. Especially when you put them pads on and get out there. Try to just forget about it.
What did you think you did for yourself, Kareem, to come back and perform well after the fumble? And what did some of the guys do on the sideline to make sure you stayed engaged?
They just, told me to keep my head up, man. We're going to get it back. We're going to give it back to you. So just, make the most of it. So, I had to just, think positive. And when I got the ball, I was going to run pissed off.
was a weird looking play. When I was looking at the TV replay, it almost looked like Josh Simmons' hand got jammed in there too. Could you tell what happened on that fumble?
No, not really. It was kind of like I was falling forward, about to fall on my head, and I kind of thought I was hit the ground or I was on the ground, and it was just kind of weird. Just rolled and it slipped out. I really didn't even try to go after it that quick because I kind of thought I was down already, so it's one of them things.
Kareem, on the flip side, I think it was 8 years between fumbles you lost. That's a long time to go without losing a fumble. How do you account for that over the years? And was the shock effect of the first one something that stuck with you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I ain't had that feeling in a long time. You know, I never want to, you know, have that feeling. I knew from my first carry. And that was just one of those things, you know, I'm human. Stuff happens. It's kind of like fluky. I don't know, you know, what I should have made sure I had it better or something. I don't know.
But how do you think you went so long without doing it again?
I've just always been just having a feel for the ball, you know. That was one of the things I prided myself on in college, man. I didn't really fumble in college or anything like that. Just strength, being able to protect the rock when getting tackled and stuff.
What do you remember, if anything, about watching Thanksgiving football growing up?
I remember, you know, just being one of those games that you just, everybody around the family just sitting around the TV, you know, eating good food and get to watch football. I mean, I think it's only like 2 teams who play that day, and it's just one of those things that, you know, everybody gonna be watching, so it's pretty cool.
You guys protect the football when you run. The punch has become a much bigger thing now. How aware are you of which teams do that more? Because it looks like some teams try that tack a little bit more than others.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of it, but I really don't even think about it too much. You know, I always pride myself on taking care of the football. You know, even if teams punch at it and do all type of stuff, every team try to, you know, get it out.
This is Patrick's first NFL game back home. What was any advice that you have for him from like the first time you played back in Cleveland?
Man, just you know, keep your emotions in line and just go out there and have fun, man. You're gonna have everybody, your family, probably has 100 tickets if I would have, like, guess.
Is there you were more involved in the passing game too on Sunday. Are you trying to sort of advocate to get more touches in the passing game as well, just to diversify the offense?
Whenever, you know, my number's called, I just try to, you know, make the play. So if that's throwing me the ball, handing it, every opportunity I get, I try to make the most of it.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks,
Thank you.
Good. Just feel weird to go.
It's just cold.
Between the games. I mean, it's really part of the job, you know. Just see if you're missing something. What was I tried to look very briefly? Damien's Walker. Where was it? I don't know if you're authorized to touch the receivers.
I think it's security.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I looked over by the running backs, but it makes sense, like, none of them are going, so you can't take a walk. So.
Breezes. I thought I saw him maybe hanging out with DBs because he was back there that I didn't recognize.
That's why
I guess I hadn't noticed this before, but you notice in the Arrowhead locker room, Clyde's between a couple of offensive linemen.
Oh, he hadn't been active on the home game, had he?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're at Arrowhead. Yeah.
So that would have been the first time he'd been over there. Well, I guess not.
He was active on the road before, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And when you're inactive at home, you don't, like Jared Wiley is on a walk over there.
Right, yeah.
Interesting.
Put your sweats on somewhere else. They're in the back somewhere. They have a spot there.
Go change in the car.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what's going on with the flag.
There's some areas back there.
Yeah.
Lounge, I think. Something.
Being raised.
Being raised back.
Dick Cheney
Don't tell
forgot
me it's
it's
being
over.
dragged on the ground. Look at this guy.
Is the
Dick
30
Cheney's
days
been dead
over?
longer like that. Check the date.
Well, he has to have his match for was over once he gets paid. You're talking about Dick Cheney, right?
Yeah. That was the beginning.
They declared it for until this year.
What's coming out of flag code?
Gotta be in compliance.
And when you raise it back to full staff, you have to lower it and then lower it and raise it back up. That was cool.
Reset.
You don't just put it back up from half staff.
Put the reset on.
Unrestricted here for US flag code. Do not wear any clothing consistent with US flag code.
120 practices at 120.
I think so.
150, is it?
It says 150.
Oh,
Yeah.
150?
disgusting.
At least that's what it says on the
It's a 10-10-10 with that 30 minutes of special teams. It starts at 120 and then the rest of it starts at 150 that we get to out here.
Breakfast used to be the cheap meat.
Shit,
I'm always around the fast
$14 an hour. Coffee, might be $20. But it's been $100. Where'd you eat?
How long can you watch
Oh,
practice
yeah,
for?
that's expensive.
Very
Yeah, we're gonna get I'm gonna watch that game. What are you doing?
Eat it up.
I'm watching it.
Nope.
At least I don't have to worry about that anymore.
It's like breakfast.
Lounge eggs.
Drink a couple of beers.
This month is well back.
Yeah, it's in December.
Yeah,
A week from
almost
today.
December.
From yesterday.
Dear me.
Did you guys see Chris in the locker room? He's around.
Dave's getting his Donald Trump story all fired up there. Well, that was last week, sorry.
That is terrific. That was terrific. I saw Dave's story everywhere.
Surprised they didn't ask for any more legs.
About Dave.
He was criticizing the Giants. Did come up against the Giants yesterday.
They did. I'm kind of sad I didn't watch that game based on how shit it was.
I looked at
They
it
don't
and
still win by double digits.
Who are the Lions playing?
Who are they? The Packers.
That's right, it is Green Bay.
It's a great.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
It's a great lineup for.
Had Joe Burrows back for the night game?
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Something to watch all day.
Yeah, it should be a great day.
If you can take it all day. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play for it. Why are we gonna play for it? Hold up. You play me to win the game.
Right.
Hello.
You don't play it just to like it. Coach, why are you putting Joe Burrow out there? Hello. You play to win the game.
See, he wasn't here when he said he was in New
Nah, he was
York.
in
right?
New
Yeah, he was with the Jets.
He had some good ones here, but he did one up. He did it. That's how you get on down and out, down and out. That was it. It was here. I got to play a lot of places.
You know, they called it, when he was here, he called the combine a beauty pageant. It's a beauty pageant. These guys walking around here.
He used to call the rookie free agent rookie camp the Gong Show. That was a good one.
Gong Show?
Gong Show.
What?
Come out to the Gong Show. That's a little TV show. You come out and they gong you if you're no good because he's just out here.
Oh.
They're just bodies, right?
Wait, what?
They're out here at the Gong Show.
Gong Show.
You let one guy out of 50 might get an invite to camp.
That's hilarious.
Did you say that?
That was a big thing, popular culture for a while.
Show your age a little bit. The kids don't know what the Gong Show is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You're too young.
Chuck Barris?
Chuck Barris. The Gong Show. That's big TV back in the day. Come out and do a little act. They're gone. That was on network TV, man.
Todd.
The unknown comic.
Unknown comic out there. That's right.
Remember Herm Edwards? Remember he asked about a player, his favorite go-to quote. He's a good football player.
Good football player.
Good football player.
He can spin it now. He can spin it.
He can spin it. That's good football.
Yeah, we know Brody can spin it, but
Brody Croyle.
Herm played in that Giants-Eagles game, Invincible, right?
yeah, he's the fumble.
Yeah.
The
Miracle of
Miracle at the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
I watched that. I was like, what the? I remember being a kid watching that. Like, what in the hell? I think I still got a Herm football card.
I liked Herm. I said they made Herm go with a bunch of young players.
Last but not least, Chris Jones.
Chris, asked Spags just about your influence on the game, and he said he thinks it started in practice over the last couple of weeks. I just wondered if something maybe has changed that prompted that you've noticed a couple of good weeks of practice ahead of this as well.
I think I've been pretty consistent. Just more so, there's a sense of urgency that practice need to be approached with, also the game. So, I'm just doing my 111.
The urgency you talk about, I kind of was watching the game on Sunday. Several guys got nicked up, getting back in the game. I mean, did you feel that nobody wanted to get out of this game on Sunday, how important it was?
I think that's every game. I think we have a few players that never come out super healthy after a game. It's physical. But commend those guys for fighting through whatever they're going through.
You're going to see your old college buddy down here, right? What do you remember about Dak? When you guys played together?
We went a lot. He was a great leader. But yeah, good guy.
Anybody else?
Chris, just what for you is sort of the biggest physical challenge to being ready Thursday after Sunday with the short turnaround? You guys have done it before, but what is it? What do you have to do to be really ready?
I think rest. Make sure you're resting. It's more so like recovering. Get in the tubs, hydrate or whole series water, and do the day-to-day things to keep your body loose. Stay off your legs.
Is it a mental grind too? I mean, you have to really already be trying to work with your sort of psychology of being ready Thursday?
No, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
You guys have been a better team just at home this season, Chris, than on the road. Any reason why you feel like that's happened, and is there anything that you guys feel like you want to prove in a road game of this importance?
As into proving something, I think we just want to win. It's always easier to play at home when you have the home field advantage. I think that goes in effect, but we got to start pulling some road games off. You know, I think this is the best time to do that against a really, really great Dallas team.
Were you a NFL Thanksgiving watcher when you were a kid? Did you watch these games with the family or anything?
Yeah, every once in a while I would. I mean, the Cowboys play every Thanksgiving, so I was very familiar with that. Was a huge Cowboys fan growing up.
What were your favorite Cowboy teams and the players?
Terrell Owens. T.O. going to T.O., Tony Romo. Yeah, Barber, running back. I love that Cowboys team.
Chris, this is a little off the field, I guess. Previously in the past, you have an affinity for like Thanksgiving pies. Is that something that you'll save for Friday this year?
I'm staying away from all sweets. I'm staying away from all sugar sweets. Trying to make sure I make weight this week.
We always, people always say hydrate, right? We're supposed to hydrate too. You drink your water and you come out here. What is hydrating for you? I mean, how many ounces of water are you doing to hydrate?
So I usually drink a bottle of Holstein water. It looks like it comes in a vodka bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I try a game. I know I usually do 4 to 5. Practice, I usually do 3 to 4. Then at home, I keep like 2 beside the bed just in case. Arms reach, pop it open. Probably a day, probably 6 to 8
Of
those bottles.
Bottles or whatever they are, 70
Yeah.
milliliters or whatever.
Yeah, it's not bad. But I'm like very active and in the steam room. I'm sweating water out, just continue to replenish. So probably 7 to 8 bottles.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys.
Thanks.